the study that Kinder Morgan had done on which they based their claim that bitumen mixed with diluent in the marine environment would behave exactly the same as crude, that they, not that a crude oil spill is good news for a marine environment, but that it would float, that it would be capable of skimming it and booming it off the surface of the water. It was buried in the appendices to get to the actual study. They did it in Gainsford, Alberta, on a summer 2-week period, actually just 10 days. It was a 10-day study done once in a tank of fresh water to which they added salt. And then, I know, they stirred it up, and they said this is just like the Burrard Inlet. Now, they'd also set pH parameters and temperature parameters, both of which were violated because it was an extremely hot summer period when they did this. The water got to 23 degrees Celsius. They said, don't worry, that's just like the Burrard Inlet in summer. I invite them to try it. But in the meantime, they put diluted bitumen into the tank. They also did a test, I kid you not, in a 5-gallon plastic tub. And the people who did that reported in their findings that went into the National Energy Board that when they looked at the way the bitumen and diluent were spreading, unfortunately, the ruler they brought with them wasn't big enough to measure it. The ruler they brought with them? And they also noted, these are the researchers that were working for Kinder Morgan, noted that they'd like to do the study again sometime with better equipment. This is the sum total of Kinder Morgan's study to say that they know how bitumen mixed with diluent will behave in the marine environment. Now, meanwhile, the Department of Fisheries and Oceans in Atlantic Canada, working out of the Bedford Center, they've published their work. This has been published in peer-reviewed journal. They did something extraordinary. They actually took ocean water and put it in a big tank that actually replicated the marine environment, including such things as having bits of salt and sand stirring around, bits of seaweed stirring around. Particulate matter also affects how the bitumen behaves because it forms oil droplets around particulate matter and sinks. The Department of Fisheries and Oceans study essentially makes the case that bitumen mixed with diluent will separate and the bitumen will sink. I won't read it to you, but if you want. I tried to get this information in front of the National Energy Board, but they didn't feel that this was fair to the Kinder Morgan to accept this, nor the literature review done by the Royal Society of Canada, Canada's premier scientific agency, which also came out with a report concluding that bitumen mixed with diluent can't be cleaned up in the marine environment. At least with current scientific knowledge, we can't clean it up.